What's up, YouTube? Alright, today's Sunday. It's June 21st. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the world. And of course, I gotta do some shout outs. You know, it seems like whenever I say something, it just happens. Like 24 hours ago, there was this sexy, fine mamacita that actually walked up on me and smiled and said hi, and I said hi. So she likes the idea of a YouTube superstar like myself giving shout outs to random people. So thank you, sexy mamacita. I actually appreciate that. That lets us YouTubers know when we done something correct or when we done something wrong here on YouTube. And like I said, in the near future, if people tell me their first name, not necessarily your middle name or your last name, but your first name, doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, young or old, black or white, you'll get shot out here on YouTube. YouTubers do it all the time. Wrinkle TV Raw, O'Shea Dude Jackson, Solo TV 84. They always shout out people in the comment section or on Patreon that, support their channel. So thank you. It's good to get the appreciation. And of course, I saw a former co-worker that used to work at Top Shop Top, man. I can't tell you his first name because I can get legally sued and I don't have his permission. But I did see him yesterday because I was in the area and I didn't recognize him because he had almost like a full beard. And sometimes you grow your hair out or you grow a beard out, and sometimes you might look unrecognizable. But knowing him, he'll probably go, "Oh, you didn't say hi. I know who you are." And I'm like, "Man, calm down, relax. It's a Sunday. I mean, it's a Saturday. I'm getting Father Day cards. I didn't expect to run into you. I didn't even know that you even live in the area." So it's like I don't be expecting to run into former co-workers from my old job. Like it's unexpected. It's not like you expect to run into people. But I'll give him a shout out. I don't want him to feel bad and start talking about me to other people on the phone and start saying this guy he didn't even say hi to me. And they'll probably tell him he didn't recognize you. You grew your beard out. And knowing him, he'll be all drama, Hollywood gossip, which I probably shouldn't say that, but knowing him, he'll probably be like, "I'm gonna get your ass when everything go back to normal. I see you at Top Shop Top, man. I'm gonna get your ass just for not saying hi." So I'm gonna say hi, former co-worker. Well, I can't say former. I'm gonna say current co-worker at Top Shop. See, I already said too much. But my point is, you're getting a shout out. Good morning. How are you? It's nice to see you. Just don't be going around telling other co-workers that I gave you a shout out, okay? Because if I give you a shout out, then I have to give all of the workers, past, present, and current of Top Shop a shout out. And if I don't have permission, I hope you're listening. If I don't have permission to say their name, then I can get liably and legally sued. And I am not trying to get legally sued. And then I get in trouble with my current job. And my current job is very strict. They do not like it when things get back to them that you did some things that are inappropriate. So don't be telling other coworkers I gave you a shout out unless I have permission to do so. If they feel comfortable with you telling the information, knock yourself out. If they don't feel comfortable, don't tell it. Because if they find out, they're going to want a shout out. And then everyone's going to want a shout out. And then if they don't like how I shot them out on camera, it may be embarrassing and disappointing to them. So I'm giving you a shout out because it's out of respect. So I'm going to say, dear co-worker manager at Top Shop. That's all they're gonna know is you're a manager and you're with the big boss. And you know who I mean when I say the big boss at Top Shop Top Man. She wears a black hat. She thinks she's from New York City. Well, I always tell her she's from New York City, but I already said enough. That's it. You can read between the lines. That's not why you're watching the YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be talking about women who betrayal a character from a comic book. I'm doing this new series. It seems like it might take off. I apologize for the long title, but my predecessors behind the scenes told me they saw my videos and they told me they want me to change up the titles because they don't want the titles to come off rude and disrespectful to men and women because some people might be highly offended by these titles. And they told me to change them up to where people understand that if you make a video for women, it's for women audience. If you make a video for men, it's for men audience. They told me, change up the content, change up the title, and continue with the series. So this one's going to be called Sex Game: The Sexiest, Hottest Actresses Catwoman Portrayal in Action, Film, and Television. We're talking about the best women, the best actresses to play Selena Kyle Catwoman in DC Comics. The reason why I made this new series is because I had this idea in my head for the past 7 years, and I never got around to making these into YouTube videos. So I thought the time is now. Sunday, I give you guys back-to-back videos. I take another 3 to 4 day break. I won't take 4 days off because 4 days was just too long. I might go 1 to 2, maybe 3 days off, and then come back with a very interesting video of a new subject theme. And that is to talk about what is the best actresses in Hollywood, past and present and current, to play Selena Kyle. You do know that's a character from the DC comic books. Now, I apologize that that's a long title for a video, but it's so people can know that it relates to television and film. It relates to filmmaking of a comic book character, and there are actresses who portray this character. So it's a good video series. We'll see how far people like it. Like my mom used to say, you can't make everybody happy. So I understand if some people don't like the video. I understand if some people have an issue with the video. It's life. We're human. We all make mistakes. Not all my videos are good. I mean, most of them are real good, very fun, entertaining, hit the mark. And then there's some videos that underperform. So we're all human. We all make mistakes. And it's a new series. I don't expect every series I make to be, always good and people always like it. The vast majority likes it. And as long as people, wave me down on the street or say hi, at least I've done my job. All right, coming in at number 5 is Lee Meriwether. She was an actress way before my time. Now, she was on a television show called The Batman TV series in the 1960s. Remember Adam West? God rest his soul, rest in peace. Well, he basically was the main character, and she was the love interest. And she played Selena Kyle Catwoman. Now, when they did the Batman television show, before they called themselves Warner Brothers, they originally was called Time Warner. And if you have TV Land, or you have the DVD of the original 1960s classic Batman television series, she was a regular on TV. She was on there for like 3 seasons. But the problem was everyone complained that she was just in a cat suit and basically she was like boring. And at that time, she wasn't getting paid a lot of money to play the character of Selena Kyle, but she made it work. She became the first actress in history to play Catwoman before Catwoman later would be appeared in television or in film. So she's the first actress. So you got to show some kind of respect and credit because she was the first one. She was on TV for like 3 years, and then I think something happened. She wanted to be a serious actress. She wanted to do other movie roles. She felt that at that time they were still discriminating against women. They did not pay women as much money as they paid men. So she saw that it was from a comic book, but she realized, why am I paying a character that's an equal to Batman and I'm not getting paid as much money as Adam West was? Like, Adam West was getting more money than her, but Adam West wasn't getting as much money as today's Hollywood actors. Like, you look at guys like Ben Affleck and Christian Bale and Tom Cruise, they were getting more money today than Adam West was getting as Batman, but his Batman was getting more money than her playing as Catwoman. And a lot of the women that's on this list have made more money than her when she played Catwoman, but people forget she's the first one to play Selena Kyle in television in history. And people seem to forget that she was the first one. Like, there was another actress before her, but that actress quit because of the same problem. Discrimination in Hollywood. Like in the 60s and the 70s, they really weren't really giving women their respect in acting. So she was the first one, and it wasn't until like almost 50 years later that they finally recognized that she was the first or the second actress to play Catwoman in television, which that's a long time to finally acknowledge it. She kind of had like the same problem as the first actress that played Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. Yeah, she had kind of like the same problem. Coming in at number four is the late great Eartha Kitt. God rest her soul, rest in peace. Now, she basically came in at the last minute. Like, she came in season three of the television show of Batman. And she popped up in three episodes as Catwoman. Because the original actress that was there for 3 years was getting ready to get out of the contract if they didn't pay her no more money. And why she was holding up their production, allegedly, they brought in Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt was an actress in film and television. She was a singer, a songwriter, and she made the character come to life. Like, she gave the character a lot of color, a lot of flair, and brought so much excitement that they thought she was the best actress to play Catwoman. And after those three episodes, people were enraged because if it weren't for her embodying the character of Selena Kyle, people would have not watched the final season of Batman. When they made the Batman movie, they had trouble trying to contemplate which actress to bring back as Catwoman. So she's credited in being in the Batman movie, but another actress would pop up, but nobody remembers that actress either. And it wasn't until they did a documentary when they were doing Halle Berry's Catwoman that they said Eartha Kitt was the one to pass the torch to Halle Berry. So it was good that she was finally getting acknowledged as the one who played Catwoman in the past of the Halle Berry, even though there was someone before them. Coming in at number three is Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, Michelle Pfeiffer is someone who came in the 1990s. And when they did a movie interpretation of Catwoman, she was like in her 30s. And I remember all the hell that she got. There was like, you're getting older in age. It's not common for a woman to pull off this comic book character. And to me, she proved everybody wrong. Like, she proved everybody wrong. Like, she got in athletic shape. She put the weight on. She had the look. She resembles Frank Miller's version of Selena Kyle Catwoman. Like, Batman Returns was a darker comic book film because it embodied a lot of different things. Like, she provided being unpredictable, the sex appeal, the intimidation, and that she was Batman's equal. Like, that was the first time Batman had a real challenge. That this was the first time he was going to get his ass whooped by a woman, not by a man. Normally, it was the Joker, Penguin, Two-Face, or Riddler, and here Catwoman arrived. And for him to be powerless and not be able to stop this woman, this is the first time we saw he was in trouble. And she was so good in the movie that some of the best action scenes wasn't really Batman, it was actually Catwoman, portrayed by Michelle Pfeiffer. And the fact that she was very violent and very dangerous was like, okay, now you got to be careful because you're messing with someone that can actually match you move for move. And you can tell she was very good with the whip. She had the Catwoman whip. She created her own Catwoman suit. And there were times in then that Batman Returns movie that it was very sexual. Like at one point, the producers of Warner Brothers were afraid that Batman might go from PG-13 to rated R because of the sexual tension and the chemistry between the comic book characters come to life. Like, they tried their hardest to stay away from comic book accuracy because they were afraid that if you did that, kids would not come to the movies to watch Batman Returns. And that's kind of what ultimately got Tim Burton, the director, fired because he was making these darker films and they were afraid you were scaring off women and children from the movie theaters. So they decided to make Batman a little lighter. They were afraid you were going to run away people, and and producers didn't like that. So when we got Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, we couldn't get no more of that vision of what Batman was. And to have Catwoman on big screen and film made Michelle Pfeiffer the first actress to play her character in film. And she got a lot of respect and credit. And you fast forward 30 years later, she's had a longevity career. Everyone always talks about that Batman Returns. And for her to pop up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she's very good. And nobody had a problem with it because when she appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp and then the sequel to Avengers Infinity War by being in Endgame, it showed that, again, she can play these kinds of characters no matter how old she get. And again, she got in athletic shape for the parts, and she has fun with these characters. So when people found that she was going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they said, I ain't got no problem. And again, she proved the critics wrong. Like, is there any more I need to prove to you? So that's why she's like by far the best version of Catwoman. Until we got to Halle Berry. Now, Halle Berry at number two is tied with Anne Hathaway. Now, Halle Berry's version of Catwoman was based off the graphic novels and comic books that came in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you ever saw the television show called Birds of Prey in 1999, it was a short-lived television series. I'm not talking about the Birds of Prey that was made early this year in the movie theater with Harley Quinn. I'm talking about the Birds of Prey that was made in 1999. It was a short-lived television series. Basically, they took the concept that you got a female police officer, a male detective, and all the vigilantes are women. And this is before we had shows like The Flash, before we had Arrow, before we had Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning. And this is like in the earlier days of DC television. And Birds of Prey, they had a Catwoman who basically was there. And Halle Berry played a comic book accurate version of Catwoman, where it was very dark. It had no Batman in it, which draw a whole lot of controversial. And you got to see how she got her power. How she, was able to, be a vigilante but fight another person that had similar abilities. And it was a good movie. It's just, Catwoman was a movie that people didn't suspect. It was the right actress, but it was comic book accuracy. Like, you can tell they really got this from the comic book story. Problem was, nobody really was ready for a Catwoman film. On the other hand, you had Anne Hathaway, who took some elements from the comic book story of being the famous Catwoman burglar. And basically, when we saw her in The Dark Knight Rise, we got to see a character play off of Christian Bale so well that some of the best action scenes were kind of like her being Selena Kyle. Like, she really, really turned into Selena Kyle from the comics. She got into athletic shape. Now, she once was regarded to play Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. The thing is, you would have to put on a lot of weight to play Black Cat. So Catwoman was a good choice for her. And the reason why she's tied with Halle Berry is because both these Catwomans are close to comic book accuracy as you can get to that interpretation of Selena Kyle. Men went to go break their neck to go see Catwoman because everybody finds Halle Berry physically sexually attractive. On the other hand, Anne Hathaway embodied a Catwoman that could get inside your head and basically make you, mess with you psychologically. The way she could play head games with Batman, the way that she was able to, get him worked up and set him up for the fight for Bane versus Batman. And then it was her who beat Bane and not Batman. So you got to see a different element of Catwoman. Okay, if Batman has trouble fighting an enemy, she'll be able to do what he can't do. So it was good from that standpoint. That's why they're tied at number two. Alright, coming in at number one is Zoe Kravitz, the daughter of Lenny Kravitz, rock star. Now, to me, she has a chance to do something in history that's never been done before. We've never had an actress like, and the reason why she's at number one is because it draws huge comparisons to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Both women were in their 30s. Both women got criticized for being that age, and people saying, I don't think she could put on weight. I don't think she could, like, the comic book version we're getting from this actress is we're getting the 2000s interpretation where she's skinny, she's got the purple jumpsuit on, she's much younger, much youthful. So she's portraying a very young version of Catwoman. It's like, what if you met Selena Kyle in college? You know, sometime after graduating college. So you're getting that version of Catwoman, where Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman was in her mid to late 20s, early 30s, and was in her prime. And she's in athletic shape, and they showed some footage of her, and she looks great and fantastic as Catwoman. Like, it's a darker version of Catwoman, and we're gonna see what she's gonna bring to the character. Now, if they do 3 movies, which the plan is, Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy is to have 3 films, 3 villains. And she's gonna probably be in all 3 films because she's playing the love interest. And somewhere in the second or third film, that's where we're gonna expect to see, you know, a sexual fatal attraction between Batman and Catwoman. And the reason why she's number 1 as Catwoman is because she's playing, again, a close interpretation, comic book accuracy of the character. So you're seeing the character being shown because back then they were afraid to let the actors experiment with the range of the character. If you weren't the main star, you never got to experiment with your character. And she's getting the opportunity to take this character into different ranges that we ain't seen yet. So she might be the first actress to play this character in 3 films. Like, a lot of people thought that they made a sequel to Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman would have returned somewhere in that universe. And with this version, we're going to see her play the character 3 times. We're going to see her do way more mixing and matching with Batman. So the movie is entitled The Batman, and she's in the movie, so we're going to see a good interpretation. And these are the sexiest women, the actresses, who had the best portrayals of Catwoman. So, hope you guys like this video. And right after this one is going to be one about Superman. Until then, peace.